Okay, anyway, let's get started. So today we are going to look at the decision and the loops. It will be similar to Java, but we will add some other material to it. Okay, so first one, this one is to control the flow. One thing is that the Boolean value is now a standard primitive data type, but it still would return 0 or 1, true or false. Okay, but they do have a true or false in C double plus. It's different from C. Okay, C only 0 and 1, but here a little bit different. Okay, so you may have a sequential program, you may have a selected program, you may have repetition. Okay, these are the basic program structure like Java. So you may have a Boolean variable. Okay, this Boolean variable is okay. You may have the control structure for if then else, and these are SIG relational operator. These are the same. We won't repeat it. These are the same. Conditional statement still the same, so it's actually okay. So let's go through this part a little bit early. We will try to add some more useful information later, okay? Right now, just go through it. I think these are standard, nothing special. Okay, here 0 represent false and 1 represent true. Okay, this actually you do have the true or false that you can use, but you use the 0 and 1 that actually is okay. Let's try this one out. This one is called it true. .cpp, okay? Okay, so you will have a Boolean value, and then let's assume that we do have a integer a equals 3, okay? And if a cout a equals 3 is true, I misspell it here. Okay, so this one pretty easy, but here I just want to show that a equals 3. 3 is considered to be true, so you can print it here, okay? So that's actually wrong. Okay, so a equals 3 is true. So that's pretty simple. Now let's try another one. Let's try Boolean b equals true, and that's CRB. So I have a Boolean value. I'll try to print it out. What will happen? What will happen is that you don't get your value. You get 0 or 1. So you get 1, okay? Now the problem is, can we convert it to a string? So C double plus Boolean value to string. So last time we do talk about the integer to string, and then we do talk about floating point to string using STOI, STOF, okay? Those we talked about it already. So now let's look at how to convert Boolean to string. Okay, so the way that you can do it is actually you do need to have a conditional statement to help it. Okay, that's actually unfortunately that's one thing you can do. And then here you can have a string. Okay, string to convert this string using toString function from string to convert it to string. Okay, we'll talk about this one later. Okay, this one we'll talk about it later. But right now, let's do it this way. Okay, so there is no quick way or one single function to convert it to string. So a better way to do it is just using a conditional statement. So a good better way would be going here. You have the B, so you do question mark. Actually, a string of true or a string of false. Okay, there's no better way to use it. The only way that you can do it is that you directly use this one, this conditional statement to give you the answer. But this one doesn't seem to work because there is a colon. So let's try to put a parenthesis around it, making sure this is whole thing will return a single value. Okay, then it will print out a string. So let's run it. Okay, so Boolean value, you cannot convert it to string right away. You have to use a conditional statement like this to convert it to string. Okay, put a condition and then true and false. That's one way you can do it. There's a second way to do it is you do use the so-called output string. Okay, output string. We'll talk about output string a moment later. Okay, this is IO string, output string, F string. We'll talk about it later. Okay, not now, but remember that we will talk about this later. Okay, so that's the first thing is that the Boolean value, print out a Boolean value, need to have a conditional statement in C double plus language. Okay, that's one thing you need to know. Okay, print out part need to pay attention to it. Otherwise, you'll get 0 or false and 0 or 1. 0 or 1, if you understand it, it's fine. If you don't understand it, it's not good. Okay. Then you have comparing the string using greater less than to compare. So this one is string is the same as you do compare to. Okay, you have a string one to compare to string two. Okay, if this one greater than 0, you will get the true or false in string compared to string. Okay, and less than is actually less than 0. This is string compared to without. Okay, so this one is for string. String is okay to use a greater less than, just like Python in C++. Okay, and Java don't have this. Java has to use the compare to function to do it. Okay, but this part you need to pay attention to it. Okay, we don't want to show that actually is easy. This one Boolean operator, you have the greater than, less than, greater than, less than, and then not equal, and or if and not. Okay. Okay, these are the same as Java, so we don't repeat it. Shortcut evaluation is the same as Java. So if your first part is true, is false, then the second part will not be evaluated. Okay, because you already false. If it is an end, this we call it short circuit example. Okay, short circuit evaluation. If the end part, the first part already false, second part true or false, it doesn't matter. So it will only evaluate the first part. It's called short circuit evaluation. If you have a more, but first part already true, then the second part will not be evaluated. It's called short circuiting. Okay, I think this one the same as Java, so we don't repeat it much. Okay, this one is formulating logic expression. Okay, we'll use the example to talk about it later. Okay, so right here, you just know about, you can write your Boolean expressions. Okay, this one, okay, I think it's simple. Boolean expression in other control structure. So it can be used for, you can use a C language is standard Boolean package. Okay, this one you can include that. This if then else is the same, so we don't waste time here. Okay, this one, okay. These are still on the basic structure, so we don't waste time to do it. Okay. Mail order demo program. This is also a very simple example. We just go through. Okay. Multiple way of if then else. Okay, it's the same as Java. So okay, this part we don't waste time. Let's just go through if then else. Okay, it's the same as Java. Okay. So nothing special. This one's still okay. Okay, so the only difference is the output of the Boolean values. Okay, and then the other I think is the same for the if and else. Nothing special here. So then next one is checking IO status. Now we are going to spend more time on this one. Checking IO status. Okay, this portion we'll redo it. Now let's get started for this part. Let's go to the IO now because so far we are using C in, C out from keyboard. Okay, so today we will talk about something from file as well. And we also talk about string as well. Okay, so let's actually go back to Java. I'll talk about review the Java input output first, and then we will use, so I will teach you C++ using Java, okay? So here, let's look at keyboard input. Okay, keyboard input. So Java, you want to create something, you actually using import java.util, here d.start. Okay, so util is similar to the C++ namespace std. Okay, is similar. So that's the public static. Okay, void name string. The reflected args. Okay, so when you use the keyboard in Java, you use a scanner input. Or new scanner system in. Okay, this is from keyboard. Okay, so you do system.out.print. Okay, enter in an integer, and then say integer a equals input that next int, and then system.out.print line the a. So this was keyboard input for Java, right? So in Java, we say that this is system.in is your keyboard. So you do have a keyboard. You create an input buffer. That's called input. So this input also called input stream, stream. Stream is like a river. It keeps flowing in your keyboard stroke. And from here, you token in. Token is a later by a later. You token in a integer a, and you print it. Okay, you send to the output stream, output, and then print to your monitor. Okay, so this is what happened for the keyboard input and output in Java. Okay. So the key idea that what I want to say right here is the input string idea. Okay, so input string is a buffer. It's a buffer. You buffer the data from your keyboard. Okay, this we call it input string. Input string. So input string right here, output string right here, output string. Okay, these are what we want to say today, and this is in Java. So let's go back to C++. So C++, we do have the input output string, IO string. IO string give you the C out and the C in. Okay, so let's try to write the same program for Java in C. So let's call it IO string one, the CPP. Okay, so input string, output string number one. So here you do have include IO string, okay, using namespace. So this is the same as you use the java.util, okay, integer main void, okay, you do return 0, okay, and then you do have, let's do cout, enter an integer, okay, and then integer a for 0, and then you do in to a, okay, and then you do cout a, and then enter, right? So this is the same as the Java program we write right here, okay? It said that you don't use the system that in the for it actually to cout. Cout is your output stream. Output stream. Your in is your input stream. So basically, from your buffer, from your keyboard, enter something to there is your in and cout. Okay, so that's the idea that you have right here. Okay, and then you run it. Oh no, this one you need to use terminal. So this one G++ IO string 1.cpp-o IO string 1. And IO string 1. You enter integer 3, okay, you print out 3. That actually is input output. Now, our purpose is not working on the keyboard only. Now let's look at the file input string. So file string .cpp. I'm sorry, let me change the name. Should be file 1. File string number 1. Hi Jessica, how are you?
Good.
Now let me repeat a little bit. I get started. Okay, I repeat for Jessica. I repeat. I teach you this input from keyboard for Java, right? And then we do have an output, and this is the input string. So I do write a C program, C++ program doing the same thing called IO string. That's a console string input and output. Okay, we done it. Now second one, let's try. This is a keyboard input. Let's try file input. Okay, so file input in Java. Okay, let's copy those things that we have from here. No, we don't copy. No, we use a file. File will be writing it in different ways. So file, you do import java.util.start. Okay, and then let's assume that the file has a lot of integer. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do public static void string repeat AR. Yes, okay, right here. Now here we would like to open the file, so you need to have an import Java. java.io star. Okay, if you want to have the file, you need to do that. Then you do scanner. Let's put a file input equals new scanner. Here you do new file. Instead of system.in, you use new file. Let's call it data.txt. Okay, so you open a file called data.txt and you open it. And this one, because you open a file, may have the error, so you need to throw exception. Okay. And then after that, you will read in quite many integer and you print now. So let's do file f input that has next. Then you do integer x equals f input at next integer. And let's do system.out.print line print the x out. Okay, so you read one integer, you print out one integer, read out one integer, you print out one integer. And when you finish, you do f input close. So this one is your file input. Open a file where there's a data, you print, you get the data and you print it. Okay, so right here, let me do it. Let me change it a little bit. Okay. So this is Java. I'm going to close it. I make a mistake because I'm actually putting the file in my desktop. That's wrong. Okay, let me move them. Let me go to my disk. So here I have CS42. Okay, right here, let me create a Java directory. So let's create BlueJ. Inside BlueJ, let me copy this one. Let's call it chapter 5. Okay, it's used for chapter 5. So copy chapter 5. And then let's do move to this chapter 5. Okay, so this one, let's actually cut and paste. Okay, let's do cut and paste. So this one, we actually read in the data from file and print out to monitor, okay? And we are going to show you in C++ how to do it, okay? So we are teaching you how to use Java to learn C++ right now, okay? One moment. I'm sorry to make this mistake. So this one copy and then paste. Okay, sorry for it. So this is file input. Okay, we open it. Now we need to have the input file called data.txt. So let's create a new data file here. Let's new text file. Okay. So this one, let's call it data. Okay. And this data file that's actually open with Notepad++. Okay, so I'm preparing this data for this program. Okay, so here let me put in 100, 200, 300, 400. 500. Okay, let's assume that we have this 5 data. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. Okay, so let's actually save. Now we save it, and then right here, this one is the Java program that would check if the file has an input every time you get a number and then you print it one more time. Okay, and then eventually you close it. So this one is wrong. Okay, we get it. Okay, we get it. Now this data file 100, 200, this data file, let's copy and put it in the C double plus directory. So let's go to C double plus chapter 5. Let's post it. Okay, now go back to our C double plus here. Now we are going to, so we already have the IO string using keyboard. Now we want to open the file. Okay, let's get started from here. So this one you would do you will also include F string. F string is the IO string, okay, is the file string. So IO string is for keyboard, F string is for file, okay, and then you do using namespace std integer main boy, you do return. Okay, now we want to read the data one by one, right? Just like your Java program. So your Java program, let's go back to your Java program. Your Java program actually using the scanner to set up the IO string, the file string. So this one, if it is a system.in, then it's actually the same as the CR, right? Here we actually cin, okay, cin is a keyboard input. Okay, now it's a file, so it's the same as the file string. So let's see how file string being created in C double plus languages. So you need to create a string. So your string is F string. I'm sorry, it actually is input file string. Okay, and then do fin. Okay, and then you fin here, you can put your file name. So let's call it data.txt. Okay, so this is the same as you declare. This is the same as you declare the scanner new file data text, the same as this one. Okay. Now you need to have a file loop to check if the file has data. So you do while fin has data. So you don't need to have next, you just do file in. While file in still have data, right? And then your file in enter to integer other to x. So here you need to declare a variable. Let's actually declare a variable integer x. So your input string is from from this file, and then you do cout x equals x, and then enter. So you read in one data one. So this one is the same as f input, the next integer assigned to x. This one similar to f input that has next. Is that okay so far?
Yeah.
I'm trying to teach you C double plus by using Java. Okay. So this one the same as system.out.line your the same as this. And then when you finish, you do have in that close. Okay, nicely done. They're very simple. This one, there's no keyboard input, so we can do wrong code. Is that okay? So file get the data in. So here key point is that your scanner in here, we use the input file stream. Now let's consider to have the output. So let's go back to Java. So Java, you may have output using print writer, right? So here you do print writer out equals new print writer, a new file, and then data out txt. Okay, so here you don't print it there, you do system.out print line x equals plus x. And then eventually you also do out close. Right, so you want to have a output stream using the file, you use a print writer. Input stream, you use a scanner. Scanner set out the input stream. Print writer set out the output stream, and both get from file as or write to the file. So far, okay in Java?
Yeah.
How about Jessica, are you okay?
Yeah.
Now let's look at the C++ version. Okay, C++ version. So this one, okay, let's actually compile it and run. Let's look at the output file. So the output file in Java, let's look at output file in Java. It's called data out. Nothing. Wait. How come it's nothing? Oh, okay. This one actually is printing to the console. It doesn't print to the out. Let me delete the system that out. That's actually print to the console. It doesn't print out to the file. Let me redo it again one more time. Okay, so it get it here. Okay, no problem. Let's actually go back to our C++ version. So right here you have the input. Now you want to create the output. So this one the same as scanner. A new file. Okay, whatever new file is. You want to have a print writer, so you do output file string. This is the same as you do print writer. New file, okay, whatever. The same as that, okay? And then right here, you do have this whole thing. You want to write it out here. So this one you do f out using the x equals x, and then at the very end you do. So it's pretty quick, okay? It's actually a similar structure. You do f out close at the end. So this program will be the same. This one is the same as out at the print line of your x equals plus x, okay? Okay, this is the same as this Java program. I try to use the Java program to give you the idea of what we did in here is the same as it, okay? Now let's run it. Okay, let's look at the data out. 500 got printed for 2 times y. I think there is a change line mark, so let's do in the ignore. Okay. Because there is a change line mark, let's try. Let's try this, okay. It doesn't work. Let me see, one moment. Ignore function is C in. Okay. We'll do this one later, okay. I'm not pretty sure this how this.
I think you're muted.
All right. Can you hear it now?
Yeah.
How long am I muted?
Like 5 minutes, I think. I wasn't sure if it was intentional or not.
5
But
minutes already?
I think.
Okay, really sorry. You have to let me know, okay?
Okay, all right.
So anyway, I think it's unintentional. I just hit it for some reason.
Oh,
So anyway, here, let me repeat it again. So F1 we do read in by basically a token out a single data. Okay, so this is next integer, but it doesn't deal with the new line mark following by the this unit mark. So eventually, I think what create trouble is the 500 got read in twice, okay? And it print out to the output file twice. That probably is the problem. So right here, we do not actually read in by token. So this one is different. This one actually is equal to f input. That next line, we will actually write it to a string called line equals this. This is in Java, okay? And now we need to convert the line to a integer. So we do have x equals stoi. X is a string to integer. Convert the string line to integer. So this one is the same as integer parse int of your line. Is okay?
Yeah.
And then you print out that actually power beta. Let's actually save it and run it. The 500 still go out again. Something wrong, okay? 500 still get out. Something wrong. I'll check it, okay? Why this 500 keep getting in out? Okay, so this is another way that you actually get in the line. So this is the same as you do next line, and then you convert the line to a integer. So far, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now we are going to try another one. Third one, let's actually go to, this is keyboard input, file input. That's next one, let's call it string input. Okay, so string input. Sometimes you do not read the data from the file. You do not read the data from keyboard, but you read the data from a string or you write to a string. Okay, so that's assume that you do have a static string. Okay, as input. Let's call it as file equals 100, 200. I'm sorry. Make it bigger, okay? 200, 300, 400, 500, okay, something like that. So you do have this string file like this, and you do public static void string that right bracket args. And you are going to read the data from this string you are going to read the data from this string to your file, to your variables. So you do scanner as input. What's new scanner? Now you put your string as a file over here. This is a string input. Okay, so while as input that has next, then your integer x equals as input that next system that out the following, then your x at the end your s input close. So far, okay.
Yeah.
This one is to read from a string and output to the keyboard. So you run it I'm sorry, right here. You don't get this data. Okay, it's okay. Now let's go back to the one that I want to talk about. Here you have IO string. This is ignore. I'm not talking about this ignore. I don't like this ignore. What I want to do is what's that? Convert the integer to string. C double plus. Okay, let's look at this one. Oh, no. Last time we say convert Boolean to string. Okay, that's one we talk about. Okay, a moment ago I do talk about this one. So this one we would like to use as a string and the string type. Okay, you want to create a string and you would like to create a string SS. Okay, so there's a string S, and then okay, let's look at this one. It's called string. Okay. Let's look at this. We already write a program. So here, let's do string number 1. That's CPP. So let's copy the file string 2 over. So IO string is for console. I probably will still need it. Okay, but this time I don't need the file string. I may need the string. Okay. So this one S string means a string. Okay. And then I also need to use a string type. Okay, so I have a string. So this program part, let me rewrite it. Let me delete it. Everything, almost everything, just delete it. So here I need to have a string SS using a string. So here let's create a string data equals 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. So this is the string data string we want to use. And then this one, let's put in the data. Let's go back. Okay, let's go back. So here you do create a string S. There is no string. There's no string. Okay, there's no string. So this data, that's actually no string. Let me see. No, I'm sorry. Let me try again. This probably is wrong. So string as input. So if you want to use it for input, use string input string. Yeah, that's actually correct. I'm sorry. That actually is correct. So here let me put in data that actually is correct. Okay, so here let's don't do this line. Okay, let's don't do line. Let's just put in a SS. Okay. So this one is your S input that has next, and this part is deleted. So your SS will enter to your X. Okay, and then you see out your X, and then eventually, okay, this one is deleted. Let's don't do the file output yet. So this one is your as the cross. So okay, this one actually data is ambiguous. Data is ambiguous because it may have other name using it. So let's change the name. Let's change it data str. If it say ambiguous, means that somewhere else, some other things may use the data. So let's use a data str. Okay, no problem now. Here SS close. Okay, so string no close. Let me close it. Let me don't do it. Because it's not a file, so probably don't need to have a close. Okay, so you do this, and then let's save. That's the wrong code. Okay, so you still get it, but I'm not sure why this last one still get a 500. I think it's related to this one, okay? Let me check, okay? C double plus as next integer. So C double plus as the next integer. Okay, it can be changed to this while not. Okay, this one. We'll try it later, okay? But anyway. Here, I just want to show you the input string. Is that okay so far?
Yeah.
Now let's try to have an output string. So here, if I want to write an output string, so let's do this. Let's do string data out equals empty string. So here, let's actually do this one. Let's do string is out using data out. Okay, so right here, you would do this. You would do this one called S out. X equals X and then end of you actually every time you have an X, you actually write it to S out. Okay. And then this S out is accumulating data. And then at the very end, you want to convert it to string. So when you want to convert it to string, you need to use the str function to convert it to a string. So here, let's do this. Let's do string S out is str equals S out dot str. Okay, and then you see out S out str. Is that okay?
Yeah.
And this one actually it has a multiple ending, so you will have 100 S equals 100 change line, S equals 200 change line, S equals 300 change line, S equals 500, 400 change line, a lot of change line. Okay, not a problem. You will actually convert everything. So this one is a little bit like Java's string dot format, some format with some data, and then this string keep increasing with some new data. Okay, increasing with some new data, and eventually print out everything in a string to get out. So this is the idea of the string, okay? The idea of string. Okay. Here the string output, I put an extra space. So you see there's a difference. These are the data from the string. Is that okay so far?
Yeah.
How about Jessica? Are you okay so far?
Yeah.
So today we do show you the use of IO string from keyboard, F string for file input, that including IF string, input file string, output file string. And then last one is string. String is read from string or write to a string. Okay, using string as a stream is NG versus EN. Okay, stream. These two are different idea. Okay, so these are using string as input string and using string as output string. Okay, and I do show you both in Java and in C++. Okay, that's our purpose, to show you how to write each one in different language, and then you can deal with this kind of different kind of input now. Okay, that's a good part for you. So that's what we talk about here, checking the I/O states. So there's an open file, and then you check if not here, means that you don't have to open the file of the file. Okay. And the next one, switch statement is the same as your Java mostly. Okay. It said that string is not okay for switch, must be an integer. Okay. Other than that, it's the same. Okay, I think we are finished the chapter 5. Okay. Chapter 5 pretty easy so far. Our purpose is going through this the basic one, and then when we go into the more difficult one, we'll deal with the more difficult one. Okay. So this one is actually, let's see, let me try to use the here C++ read integers from file. Let me check. Okay, something wrong for me. Let me check this version from internet. So you set out input string, you have a data, and then let's see right here, input string. So you here file input to num, so you need to use this format. While this one enter to the num is okay, you do it instead of checking the file only. Okay, checking the file only is wrong. Let's actually try it. Okay, I'm trying to solve the problem I had so far. So let me check my this one. Okay, let me redo it. Let me copy it to my version 2. So I'm going to change it to this one. I'm going to change it to, I don't want to overwrite my original one. So here I'm going to call it file string 1b, the CPP. Okay. So right here we do have an X. So here is F into X. And then you eliminate this line. So when you read the error, you will break the loop. So here while not error, while you still have the data. Is okay? While reading has data. When you have the, let me see. No. They should not be. They should not be this because just this. Okay, while you have the data, you actually do it. Okay, let's try this version. Okay. So try this version, let's say, and run. Okay, this time the last 500 is gone, okay? Because it's not a number. I think the last one, because it's a backslash n, is still read in, so that create x equals 500 at the end. Okay, is that okay so far?
Yeah.
We can rewrite all of the string after string number 2, number 3, okay, whatever. Okay, I just want to show you the right way to write it. Okay, anyway. That's the part we have so far. Let's move on to the chapter 6. Okay, chapter 6. Chapter 6 is loop. Loop has a while loop, for loop, different kind of loop. Okay. So this is a counter loop, whatever loop. These are all the same with Java, but we still will teach you some sort of the loop that's different. Okay, that's different from Java. So this is a counter control loop, whatever event-driven loop, whatever, these are the same as Java. Nested loop, these are all the same. Do while loop is the same, so we don't repeat it, okay? You use the same concept, you should be able to write it. Now let's try a different one. Let's actually try. Okay, let's try it for each loop. So let's assume that the while loop, for loop, do while loop is the same. And let's have a integer A array of 5 elements equals to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, so this is the integer array. And then you do this, you do for integer x in A, you do cout. Okay, this is for each loop. This one, no problem. This one is the same as your Java program. Okay. Okay, now let's try another loop. This one that's use for loop. So for okay, this one let's actually do using the iterator. Okay. Let's try for loop with iterator. So you may have a vector. You may have a vector that actually is 10, 20, these. No, not this one. Okay. This belong to the vector. Let me see if array work out. Okay, I'm not sure whether array will work out or not. So let's do auto. This one integer array iterator. I think it doesn't work. Okay, it doesn't work. No, that's H. Okay, this one probably. Okay. I'll talk about it later. Okay, that one probably in vector is more appropriate, not right now. So this one for each fluid that is the same. Okay, let's actually stop right here. I don't want to go into vector. That's probably too much right now. Okay, so this one is for each loop. Now let's actually talk about something else. Let's talk about alias. And then talk about copy constructor. Talk about copy constructor alias, talk about pointer. Okay, this more complicated concept. So let's actually get started with a data type that's called a structure. Let's just call it point.cpp. Okay. Okay, now here I have an integer a equals 3. And then I say integer b equals a, okay. And then I see out a okay, I see out my a and my b, right? So you will get 3, 3. That's no problem. But now if my b assigned with 4, then what will happen to a? Jessica, what happened to a?
Does it still stay as 3?
It still stay with 3. Okay, that's good. Because it's making a copy to b, so b no change. But now if I right here actually do alias of b equals a, what will happen? About Jessica, what will happen?
Then
What does this mean actually? What does this really mean?
it's like pointing to A.
Not exactly. It's not pointer. So it's possible that we do this. So what are the difference between these three? Okay, we may have, let's actually put this. You may have C equals A, and then the alias B equals A, and pointer P equals A ages. So what are these difference between these three possible assignment? So integer C equals A is very easy. You have an A that you store with 3, that's okay. And then you have a C, you copy the 3 to it, that's no problem. But how is that B? B, what will happen to B? How about Benjamin? What will happen to B?
B would also be 3, right? Yeah.
B is 3, but
No.
what happened to B? You are not answering the right answer. B is 3, yeah, but here I'll change B to 4, and then what will happen?
It would change C to it would change. Okay, so A is 3, and then C is also 3.
And then what happened to B?
B would be equal to A.
B equal to A, so B equals 3. That is
yeah.
no. So here, if I change B equals 4, what will happen?
A equals 4
Why?
because it's pointing to A.
It's not pointing to A. It actually is the sharing the same address. This one is the alias. So alias means that it's a different name for the A storage. So B and A are two variable same memory location but different name. This we call it alias.
Okay.
So this is S sign. S sign is alias. Is okay?
Yeah.
Alias is also known as Benjamin, also known as Ben. Is okay?
Yeah.
That's a different name. So it's the same person, different name. Jessica, is that okay?
Yeah.
So same person, different name. So same person assigned to 4. So you are all both of your A and B will be changed to 4 now. It's not out yet. Okay, it's not out yet. Wait. Okay, it's out. So both A, B are 4 now. Okay. Now, but what is the P now? So A is 3. B is the same name, same memory but different name. C, you copy the 3 to it. And P actually is a pointer pointing to these edges by this assignment. So you copy the edges to P variable. Okay, so if you want to have the data, it should be CL, okay, and then body of the P will be equal to, body of the P is the data that P pointed to. That would be your 4, okay, that would be, so it's the same address that A is pointing to. So this kind of alias pointer, you need to understand it a lot, okay? You need to understand it. When later we go to the classes, we go to the structure, we go to the, you will need it a lot, okay? You will need it a lot. Right now, this array still don't have it, don't have much of it, okay? But later, when you have more of the object, you will need it, okay? You will need it. Okay.
Yeah.
So far we just have the integer array. We haven't get involved with the array of object or array of structure yet. Okay. Now let's save it for later. Okay. But at this moment, at least you need to know about what is variable, what is alias, what is pointer. These 3 are different concepts. A variable is a storage of some data. An alias means that it actually is a other variables as another name. Pointer means this P stores some address pointing to some other location. Okay, these 3 things you must be very, very careful. Your ICS 51, the C language program, you will need it. Okay, your ICS 45, you will need it. In urban, you will all need this kind of the concept. Okay, very important concept. You must have it. Okay. That's the part we actually, and the iterator loop, I think it's too early right now, okay? So I don't talk about it. Break label the same as Java, okay? So this one we don't talk about it. So there's not much we can do right here, okay? So let's do this. We still have time, let's do this, let's write a program instead, okay? Okay, so let's try to write a monthly calendar. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Let's try to write a monthly calendar. So monthly calendar, let's assume that you start with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Sunday to Saturday. Okay. And then you need to know about what is your first day and how many days in the month. So you know how many days in the month you print out. Okay. So let's get started. I don't do random months. Okay, I don't do random months right now. Okay, later we can develop it into a random months program. So I want to demonstrate the loop. So I use this one as an example. Okay. So two things you need is the first day of the day and also number of days in the month. These are important things. So here, let's do this. Let's do C in, C out, enter. The first day, let's see, the day of the first day in the month. Okay. So this one it can be 0 to 7. Okay, so here it's 0 to 6. 0 is Sunday. Okay. And then 6 is Saturday. So 0 to 6. Okay, so you do integer day, the first day. Let's do F day, first day equal 0. Okay, and then you do C in into your first day. Okay, now you do enter the number of the days in the month. Okay. And then you have an integer days equal 0, and then you see in days. Okay, so you get these two numbers, and we are going to get started to print it. Okay. So now you do get started from Sunday, this, whatever. Okay. So what you want to do is, let's do this, let's do C out. Let's put in Sunday, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, and you enter. You print out the first line for it. Okay. Then you know that the first day is called F day. So if the first day is 0, you print 0 spaces. Okay, so what you would do is right here, you would do for integer I equals 0, I less than F day. I increased, C out. So you put 1, 2, 3, 4 space. Okay, so every starting days you put in 4 spaces to the line. Then you start to print your numbers. So you say for integer I equals 1, I less than equal to days in the month. I increase. Now this I is the days that you have. So starting from 1, you would actually do it, okay? But now there's one more problem. This day, F day 0, you create another variable, let's call it T T days will be equal to F days. So what is T day? T day is T first day. So it's how many days already been there, okay? So initially you already, let's assume that you start with Tuesday. So you print 2 spaces, 4 spaces before you start to print here. So your T date right now is actually 2, right? That's the first day you print. So here, if T days modular 7 equals 6, then you will change line. So you will see out. No, let's do this. Let's get outside. You see out would actually set W4 first. You will every number you would actually set 4 first. I'm sorry. Single plus set with for the teacher. Okay. So you set W. Oh, this IO manipulate you need to include. That's what I wonder. It actually has this IO manipulator. Okay, you need to include this. So you set W for 4, that's fine. Okay, and your T days take multiplied by 4. Your CR will print out your I. So this current I will be width of 4 digits. Okay, 4 letters. That's okay. But you are take modular equals 6, so you will change it. So you put the handle. If not, else you will see out your I only, no change line. At the very end, you will see out will do change line. That's it. This program will print a program that will print out a calendar. Let's save. I'm sorry, let's save. So let's check this month. So this month is August. It will have 31 days starting from Friday. Okay. So this one G double plus months CVP SO months, and then run this month starting from Friday. Totally 31 days. Oh. The width is not 4. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, here I forget it. I forget T day need to increase. I'm sorry. I forget it. Sorry. One more time. Okay, so this one more time. So 31 days in the month. Still wrong. Change line part is okay, but the width is wrong. T days increase. T days start to be equals right F day, but T days increase. So here your T day equals F day. Oh, here is 0. I'm sorry, not here. It should be after you read in your F day. I'm sorry. I make a mistake. Okay, should be here. One more time. Sorry for it. Okay, so that one, okay. 1, 2, okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that's okay, but it doesn't set up with the width of 4. It doesn't have the width of 4. It doesn't have the width of 4, so let's do this. Let's put it over here. Let's actually set width of 4 before we print out. Let's do this. Let's set width of 4 before we print out. Okay, one more time. Okay, get it done. Okay, so your set width must be within each one, but right here, your Sunday, Monday, a little bit to the left. That's not terrible. That's okay. What we want to do is right here, we put an extra space for it. That should be fine. Okay, move the whole header line to the right a little bit. That should be fine. That's a minor adjustment. That's not a problem. One is not enough. Let's try another one. 2, 3, okay. One more time. I'm sorry, I must actually save it. Three, I think too much. I think delete 2, okay. I probably is okay, but I do not save the program somehow. That's okay. Try one more time. Okay, this one okay. Any questions so far?
No.
So let's try a different months. Let's try maybe like June. Okay, let's try June. So June is starting Sunday, totally 30 days. So let's do months. So June is starting Sunday, totally 30 days. Okay, you print out your calendar in the right way. So while we are doing this just give you an exercise of when you write C++ program, what you will face. Okay, something you don't know is, for example, I'm not 100% best or it's just set width. Okay, I don't want to change the printf as well, but you do need to search internet and try to figure it out. Okay, Jessica, is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, now one more thing. One more thing is that you get started from SU or from Irvine. You may need to learn Linux system. Okay. So one thing you must learn is the CMOS shell script. How can you learn the CMOS shell script? You actually go to Khan Academy. So before you get started for your school, I think learning this is good because you have been using all the time with the, you have been doing all the time with the PC, Windows, or Macintosh. So you may not know about how to deal with the shell, Unix shell. So I don't know whether this one Core Academy is free or not, but if it's free, you can go and use it. Okay, I'm not sure. But this one will teach you the shell command line. and also the bash scripting. These are Unix needed standard code. Teach you this kind of the script skipping that I'm using right here to teach you how to write this. Okay, so that's very important. Let me put the course image to you. That I think you need it when you go to college. You need to learn how to use Linux. Okay, most of the developers using Linux, they don't use Windows. Okay, so you must know about what is Linux. So you must somehow know Linux scripting. I think there might be some course in Coursera as well. Udemy has this, you may need to pay some small amount of money. Okay. Here we do have Linux scripting. And most developers are using Linux. And you have this gig for gig, okay? So you must get started by yourself. Don't wait until your school need you to do it, okay? You will be too late because your homework will be depending on it, okay? And you need to learn how to compile C program, C++ program on it, or Python program on it, okay? And as far as I know, every homework that Irvine has, you need to upload your program to your Linux machine in your computer, okay? And they have a lot of test vector in there. You must pass it. I would believe that ASU would do the same thing, okay? So please spend some time on this Linux scripting, okay? Is that okay so far?
Yeah.
Any questions so far?
No.
No? How about Jessica, any questions so far?
Nope.
So today we deal with the if then else and for loop, and the basic part I don't teach you. What I teach you today is basically the input output file stream and the string stream. Okay, string stream. These are more new to you. Okay, and also deal with the for each loop, and also deal with the last one, that is the address and pointer and alias. Okay, must remember that you need to know about what's alias, what's pointer. And last one, give you an example of the for loop and how to print out the right format using set width as well. Okay, these are what we practice today. And then next week we are moving on to more difficult one. Maybe soon we'll go to structure. So we will start structure arrays pretty soon. That will be a lot of difference for Java and C++. I would say almost totally different. So today we finish chapter 5 and 6. Next time we will do chapter 7 and 8. Chapter 7 is on function. Chapter 8 is on scope of the function. So these are still functions. Chapter 9, let me see chapter 9. So chapter 7, 8 are all functions. I think we will go over it quickly. And then 9, 10, 11, 12, we will spend more time on 10, 11, 12, okay? Starting from 9, you will go to the structure and user-defined type, okay? We will spend more time there. It's a for loop, while loop function is similar, okay? So that's what we will do next week, okay? And then if you have question in your school, some of you say, ASU already starting school. If you have some problem with you for your programming assignment, you are okay to ask me. Okay, I'll try my best to help. Okay? Okay, no question. That's it for today. Thank you. Good night. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.